Welcome to This Week in West Hempstead, sponsored this week by Creative Corner. Here is your host, David Kirshner.
Thanks, Dan. Let's just take a quick look at our poll question on westhempsteadecho.com. Let's talk about the results, and then I just want to dive in and talk about some of the things that really bother us in West Hempstead and see if we can make a poll question out of it and then find out what people in West Hempstead think. How does that sound for a plan?
Sounds like a plan. What, in fact, was our poll question this week?
So if you actually go to westhempsteadecho.com, you'll see the question that's been up there is, what do you like most about West Hempstead? And the options were the West Hempstead Public Library, the Volunteer Fire Department, the Echo Park Pool, or Halls Pond Park. And the winner is...
Drum roll, please.
Echo Park Pool, which came in at close to 40%, 39%, followed by the West Hempstead Public Library, Halls Pond Park, and then the Volunteer Fire Department came in at 8%. And I will say this, it's not a really fair, probably, playing field for the Volunteer Fire Department, because outside of all these other areas, you only need the fire department when you need them. And so I'm not sure if that's the thing that you would most like about West Hempstead. It certainly might be the thing that we most need in West Hempstead. So, but that'll be for a different poll.
Yeah, don't take it badly, Volunteer Fire Department. We are very delighted to have you here and very grateful for your service. So it's don't take it the wrong way.
Without a doubt, it is an invaluable service. So we're going to put up a new question on westhempsteadecho.com. And I put a list together, Dan, and I thought maybe we can talk about these real briefly and added these bunch of items, see which ones stick. The first one, of course, is like a no-brainer or something we've been talking about on the show in the past. It's broken sidewalks. I mean, they're not going away. Don Clavin hasn't taken our challenge. So, I think broken sidewalks, big issue.
I will agree with that. That is certainly something I've noticed, and we've certainly heard you and Norm talk about that quite a bit. So,
all right. And in no particular order, another item that seems to bother some people, but not a lot of, maybe not everyone, dog walkers and dog poop. How big of an issue is that, Dan?
I mean, I don't know why the dog walkers would bother anybody. I'm glad to see them getting the dogs out in the exercise. I mean, I guess if dog poop is a problem, yeah, but not on my list, no.
All right, so dog poop, maybe not as big. Leaf blowers, gardeners. Now, that's sometimes a pretty big issue, especially early morning and on the weekends.
Yeah, there are rules about it, are there not?
I think there are, but it doesn't seem like anyone's following them.
Yeah, well, as I said to somebody, I was on a work call, and they went off, and I kind of said, let me play you the song of my people as they made their way back.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like anyone can have an outdoor meeting without a leaf blower going, but, the rules in the town of Hempstead, not so strong, and, on the other hand, people want to have their gardeners come in, they want their lawns looking nice, and they don't want to do it themselves, so this is what you end up with.
I think this one I'd put on as an option, definitely.
All right. Smoke shops. I don't know if you've noticed, but there have been smoke shops popping up all over town. It seems to be a little bit of a mercantile plague. What do you think about that?
I'm sort of libertarian on this, so if people want to smoke and somebody can get a smoke shop working, I'm not quite sure what's so special about West Hempstead that they've ended up here, but maybe, you know what, put it on the list. Let's see what other people think about it.
In the old days, they just used to call them stationary stores, so I think they've become a little bit more advanced, and I don't know, it just seems to be a whole lot of them. Exit 17. Now, that's something I think we can all say really stinks, right?
I personally would defer to the entire Southern State Parkway as well as the Northern State, the Belt Parkway, and anything else in the New York metro area. But, what specifically is bothering you or have you heard is bothering people about Exit 17?
I think that whole area, both getting onto the Southern State and getting off, both from the east and from the west, it's just a disaster. And I've seen new drivers who just have a really hard time navigating. I also sometimes see drivers have a lot of experience trying to navigate. Robert Moses did some pretty good things, maybe in New York. This was not one of them.
Well, I can tell you as someone who has read large chunks of The Power Broker, which I highly recommend, by the way, if you're interested in the history. There's not a lot nice I have to say about Robert Moses personally. It's not a great interchange there for people, as you say, getting on, coming off. So I'm not sure what could be done about it, but I certainly think it's worth raising with people.
Sure. All right. Halls Pond pollution. Ever since I've lived here, it's such a beautiful, area, but as soon as you get up close and you see all that pollution, it doesn't just seem to go away.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's certainly a town-related issue. I guess the question would be, because I know they've occasionally done cleanups on it, I guess the question I would ask is, why can't we have nice things? Why can't it stay clean, I think is my question.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is you got all these cars who are coming off of exit 17 on their way up north, and they're just throwing garbage out the window. That certainly doesn't help.
No, I'll grant you that, although, frankly, our town residents probably may have a hand in it as well. But let's put that up on the poll list. Let's see what people think.
Brown water, is that an issue for you?
Well, I mean, there were warnings about it. I forget whether it was American or West Hempstead Water who was flushing pipes. I mean, I think given the choice, I'd rather have them flush the pipes and know that hopefully that means everything's fine than have a water main break and then really be in trouble. So this gets a no from me.
All right, and I tend to agree. Brown water just doesn't happen all that often, and when it happens, you flush out your system, you're good to go. What about the vacant stores that seem to be dotting Hempstead Avenue and Nassau Boulevard?
Now you've hit the big one for me, because of what I think is going on here. Certainly the local businesses have had issues for a long time with the tax rates in town. It's a bad thing for a town when there's empty storefronts. It's a little bit difficult because there isn't a ton of foot traffic during the day, but there are plenty of businesses that could be using the space. And I think it would be really helpful to have the town kind of start to address this. What is it keeping businesses away? Why can't we keep businesses in business here in town? That would be a big one for me.
And finally, it's the ubiquitous potholes. They seem to be here all year round. The roads, they fill them up. They, winter, summer, they come back. Are we ever going to get away from this thing?
I doubt we will. We do live in the Northeast, but it's a good question as to whether, again, is this something that could be improved by something on the town side. So I think, to me, I think out of that list we've got at least 6 possible things you could throw up there.
Absolutely. So we're going to update the poll at westhempsteadecho.com. We look for you to go on the site and vote, and we'll talk about the results. And we'll continue to discuss those things that we both enjoy about our town and those things that kind of suck. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to joining us again next week.
Thank you for watching. Again, join us at westhempsteadecho.com for the next episodes. To sponsor this and other shows, please reach out to us at sales@westhempsteadecho.com.